Once upon a time, there was a very fluffy little dog. While all the other little dogs would play and fetch toys and bark, this little dog just liked to lay around. He liked to lay around because his fluffy fur was super comfortable and warm. One day, his owner, Mr. Brown, woke up the fluffy little dog. He said, "Fluffy little dog, get up and run around. There's plenty of things to do." "Like what?" said the fluffy little dog. "I'm very comfortable right now. I don't want to turn over. I'm laying in the perfect sun spot. You better have something really good for me or I'm staying right here." "Well," Mr. Brown said, "we could go into the yard and play with a ball. It would get my fur dirty. I wouldn't like that at all. We could go to the park and take a long walk. I don't want to do that. What do I look like? Some jock? Well, let's go to the beach and let the sun shine. I'd rather stay at home in bed and drink all my wine. Let's go to the groomers and clean up your mane. I'd rather stay in bed and drink my champagne." "Well, you can't sit around and do nothing your whole life. How will you get a job, a career, or a wife?" "If I ever have those, stab me with a knife. All those things sound like nothing but strife." "That's it, little dog. You need some direction. You just sit around all day getting yeast infections." "No way," said the dog. "I don't want any reflection. I just want to live a fun life with no introspection. Eating cookies, candies, gumdrops, and cakes, getting blasted on wine, and staying up late. I want to watch YouTube videos in bed and play with my worm, blasting loads on my stomach and forget to wipe the sperm. This is my greatest desire on God's green earth, to do nothing in life after my birth." With that said, the little dog went back to sleep, as poor Mr. Brown simply stared at his feet. "My lazy little dog does sure have some quirks. But how do I tell him to get a job without being a jerk? I don't want my little dog to grow into a porker. There just aren't enough jobs as opinion columnists at the New Yorker. If only there was a job where you had to do no work. But what job could have such a wonderful perk?" Mr. Brown thought long and hard while the little dog slept. How could he tell his little dog that he would have to get a job to survive? Suddenly, he had an idea and burst to his feet. He gathered some paper and some pens and some ink. He worked busy into the night as the dog lay to sleep, so still and polite. The dog was so cozy that in his dreams he had a good dream, where he was having a good dream while he was sleeping. He dreamed of free wine, Xbox Game Pass, full-length feature film pornos, and microwavable meals. The lazy little dog finally woke up, and it was late in the evening. "Wake up, sleepyhead," said Mr. Brown. "Huh?" said the lazy little dog, rubbing his eyes. "Rise and shine, little dog. I figured out how we can both get what we want." "Forget it," said the little dog. "I'm not going to get a job." "But what if I told you you could have a job where you don't have to work?" "Huh?" the little dog said, amazed. Mr. Brown handed the little dog some paper, some pens, and some markers. "What's this?" said the little dog. "If you want to have a job where you don't have to work, just be a children's book author. It's basically money laundering because the kids never get to choose the books they read anyway, so it doesn't matter what's in them. Parents just buy stuff with different moral messages because they're afraid to talk to their children, and they just hope they gloss some stuff off of other people's stuff." "Oh, wow," said the happy little dog. And so, the lazy little dog became a children's book writer. He wrote 4 books over 15 years, and each book was 30 words long. The little dog became a great big fat old dog who was just as lazy as he was now, and he ate good food for his entire life, and he watched funny shows, and he laughed and laughed and laughed, and he drank as much wine as he wanted, and no one ever yelled at him or told him what to do again. The end.